Hello, everybody, and welcome back to another episode of the CafeTalk podcast. I am your lovely host, Victor, here joined as always with your beautiful host, Jolen. How you doing, Jolen?
I was doing fine until you said the Cafe Talk podcast. I don't think we've ever called it the Cafe Talk podcast.
No, because it's kind of implied that it's a podcast, and we just call it Cafe Talk. But it's like, why don't we call it a Cafe Talk podcast? So I was like, yeah, fuck it, I'm gonna roll with it, see how it goes.
Apparently, it didn't go well.
All right. Note to self. No Cafe Talk podcast.
No, but I'm doing good. Trying to stay chipper and positive during quarantine.
That's good. Yeah, I've seen that at least LA has been slowly opening its doors more and more now. I don't know if things have been getting better in the situation, but I'm seeing a lot more businesses opening. That's for
Yeah,
sure.
I think it's getting like a little bit better. Like we're still pretty high in the nation when it comes to like cases and stuff like that. But when you look at the charts, like we're starting to like plateau.
Oh, see, yeah, that's good. That's always good. Yeah, because I funny enough, I went to like a 7-Eleven and the cashier was the one talking to me about it, like how bad things are, and I was like, yeah, man, like don't worry about it, things will get better. And he was like, yeah, I mean, I could tell it's getting better. Like more people are coming in and people are going back to work, so that's good. I'm like, yeah, and they got me thinking. I was like, is it because the situation overall it just seems to be like stabilizing and now it's like no way but up now.
Mm-hmm.
So that's good to hear. Hopefully everything's open again soon and we could go back to enjoying the beaches and maybe hiking a mountain or something like that. Not that we do that, but still, for those who do.
Yeah.
So, Jolen, tell me, what do we got for these beautiful, lovely listeners that are joining us today?
Well, Victor, I'm glad you asked. For those who listen, you might remember a couple episodes back.
Ooh.
I kind of shared how my life has been equally enriched and diminished because of a panini press that I recently acquired.
Yes, it actually got me thinking of getting one myself.
Now, I've acquired a 3D printer, and
Ooh.
so far my life has been enriched, but a lot more work has been added.
Is it a lot of work to maintain it, or what do you mean by work?
Like now that I actually have the 3D printer, so my original plan was to learn how to model and then get the 3D printer, but life doesn't work out that way.
It just throws you the 3D printer out of nowhere.
Yeah, exactly. One day you're just chilling in your room, the next day a 3D printer shows up into your life.
You're just like, hello.
But anyways, yeah. So originally I wanted to learn how to create 3D models and do like CAD designs, which CAD design is kind of redundant. It's like an ATM machine.
What is that?
Because the D stands for design.
Oh, CAD design. I got it.
Yeah, computer aided design.
Yeah.
I wanted to learn how to do CADs.
Uh-huh.
And I was starting to learn it, but then I just, instead of dipping my toes, I jumped all in, got the 3D printer, and now I actually have to learn how to do CAD
in order for you to design stuff that you actually want to use.
Exactly.
Right?
But it's a journey. It's pretty fun. I'm not gonna lie. It's pretty exciting having a 3D printer.
Ooh, I can imagine.
What people don't tell you though is that 3D printers generate a lot of heat.
They like in general, just being around them is
at least mine does. I have like the Ender 3. And it's like the bed gets hot, which is good, but then like the little extruder where the plastic actually prints out, that gets up to like 200 degrees Celsius or Fahrenheit.
Oh,
I think
damn.
it's Celsius.
Damn. I mean, so 200 degrees Celsius, that's burning hot.
Yeah, it gets pretty hot. I'm not gonna lie.
How do you like? I'm pretty sure that's enough to just radiate heat, like just by being near,
exactly.
right?
Plus, in order to maintain a constant temperature, and to cool the plastic once it's set,
Uh-huh.
The little extruding nozzle has like 2 fans on it, so it's like pulling and blowing all the heat away.
Oh, I see. So it's
And one
just
of the prints that I made, it took like 4 hours to complete.
uh-huh.
So just 4 hours of constant blowing away hot air. It really warms the place up.
See, that's one thing I also like didn't expect when it comes to like 3D printers. I knew projects took a while to make, but I assumed that like the smaller the project, the less time it would take. But my expectations were like a little tiny figurine, maybe like 3 inches tall, would only take about like an hour or two to make. But that's not the case, right?
It really depends. There's a lot of variables that can like change the printing time.
Uh huh.
Like it depends on the size of the nozzle. It depends on how much, like how full you want it to be.
Oh, I see.
Because it can just print like basically a shell, and that's like the fastest. But if you want it to be like all complete plastic, then
Yeah,
that takes the longest.
that makes sense. I yeah.
So there's a lot of variables that can affect it. Plus, like the actual size of it as well.
Yeah.
But it's pretty fun. It's a journey. Trying to think of ways to make money with this 3D printer. A
Come
little
up with
side
your own
hustle.
ideas. Yeah, and that's why you want to get into making a CAD, right? Because like that way it's your own proper design, and then once you have that, you could 3D print it and then probably sell those, and
Yeah, exactly.
it won't be infringed or copyright or anything like that.
Yeah, but that's my little thing about the 3D printer. Maybe I'll release videos on like projects that I do with this printer. Let
Uh-huh.
me know down. Let me know in the comments if you want to see that.
Yeah, definitely. We could make like our YouTube videos and see how your process goes. Even
Exactly.
even even down to the designing process. I'm pretty sure some people might be interested in watching you do that.
Right. But yeah, so far it's only been enriching. It hasn't been devastating or tedious.
That's good. Yeah. It hasn't taken up too much time from you or anything like that. Has it been exhausting?
A little bit, because you wanna make sure that the prints right.
Mm-hmm.
You just like mess up halfway through, and then there goes like an hour of your life.
So what have you done now that you have the 3D printer? Like, have you made any projects so far?
So right now I'm working on a project. Basically it's like a little blower,
Uh-huh.
like a fan blower. But maybe I'll make a video about that, so you'll learn more about that in the future. But I printed a little pig, a little piggy bank.
Oh, that's cute. How big
Yeah.
how big was it?
It's pretty small. You can't even put a quarter in it.
Oh, that's tiny.
Yeah.
It's specifically only for dust bunnies.
Yeah, but it's my first print. And I was like testing it out yesterday, like trying to make it smooth by sanding, and it works pretty well.
Ooh, okay, not bad. Well, I mean, that alone shows the potential of like future projects. See how it goes.
Yeah, but we've settled on this topic long enough. It's time to get into the nitty gritty, the meat of the subject.
All right, yeah. What do you got planned?
So, Victor, I don't know if
Yeah.
you've seen in the news recently, but our good friend of the show, I wish, Elon Musk,
Uh-huh.
he's talking about this whole like neural network connection thing that like you can hook up to your brain or something. I don't know what his plans are with it,
Yeah.
but he's like a pioneer, and he himself said he's gonna get one.
Oh, like he himself is gonna be like implanting one like in his own brain.
Yeah,
Oh,
because
okay.
he's
Yeah,
like a huge
that's
advocate
good.
for it. But
Yeah, exactly.
my question is how likely and to what degree are you willing to augment your own body?
Oh, I get you. I mean, this really that's a good question because this really does sound like the beginning of like human augmentation. like
Yeah, like
like
essentially, would you become a cyborg?
yeah, exactly. It does sound like the beginning of all that stuff because it's like technology is reaching that point where it's either more reliable than the human body itself or just as reliable. It's just
Uh,
like ooh. Ooh, that's pretty cool. Let me tell me like how far are you willing to go?
I don't think I'm willing to like connect myself, basically like connect my brain to the internet. That's too far.
See, but that's my question. Like, because we don't know as of yet, like it's still incredibly early, but how would connecting to your brain to the internet work exactly?
I think essentially it would work like the same way that you're using like a computer to access the internet, except
Uh-huh.
now the screens are like in your eyes and you can just like move your fingers in the air and that's how you're typing.
Now that's pretty cool. Like
Like
I mean,
it would take like muscle signals to kind of simulate a keyboard and stuff like that.
exactly. Like I've yeah, just like again, like in sci-fi stuff, you would see people just typing in midair, but to them they're like on a laptop in front of them, that sort of stuff.
Uh-huh.
Yeah, that's pretty cool in my eyes. I'm not sure if I would do it myself, but like it's fun to imagine, you know. And especially once I heard that Elon Musk created that Neuralink, Neuralink. I don't know how to pronounce it properly.
Good enough.
um, yeah, that got me questioning. Like, sure, it connects to your like your mind to the internet, but it's like I was imagining simple stuff, or at least the most I can imagine is like you get home from work, and because you have that Neuralink, pretty much any appliance you have in your house that's connected to the internet, let's say lights, they would automatically turn on once you stepped inside your door. Maybe once you leave your house, all the automated locks on your doors would lock automatically because you're not there, and stuff like that. That's what I was thinking. But I was wondering if you had any ideas onto like the capabilities or the potential that this new creation might have in the future.
I mean, the potential is like limitless. Let me pull up like what he actually said.
Okay.
Go, Victor. Fill the silence while I fact check.
Oh, I was just staying silent just so that in case you wanted to edit out, it'll be easy.
We're live, Victor.
Ooh, live streaming. No, I'm new to this. Oh my god, I'm so nervous. um, no, but this a movie came to mind. Like, I don't know if you ever seen it. Did you ever see the movie Her?
Yeah.
Yeah, exactly. For those who haven't seen it, the whole movie just like talks about like a futuristic setting where a guy, like everybody in the world has these like neural links in their brain, and you could, like Jolen said, pretty much like screens come up in your head of sorts. I believe I haven't seen the movie in a while, but it's like you could think to the computer like, hey, can you play uh sad music or happy music, or play a certain artist or a certain album, and you alone would hear it because it would be playing in your head and nobody else around you would hear it. And in the movie it just pretty much talks about how like a super advanced AI to help you with your life, whether it's a personal assistant or cooking or maintaining your house, all that sort of stuff, or even just like talking to somebody. That's what the AI was created for. But in the movie, the guy gets attached to the AI, starts thinking it's a real person, and then starts falling in love. But that's, if you're interested in that, go watch it. It's not that bad of a movie. It's not something I personally think it's amazing, but it's worth a watch at least. um but the whole Neuralink that Elon Musk has created reminded me of that movie, into thinking of the same situation where if you do get it implanted, you might be able to hear music in your head, or like be able to communicate with your appliances like Google Home or Alexa and stuff like that, and just pretty much say the words without having to click anything or even touch anything like a computer would. Like it's already in your mind. And I was like, that'd be pretty cool.
Yeah. I know in that movie he didn't have like an implant.
He didn't?
No, it was like a Siri kind of artificial intelligence. He would put like a little like an AirPod inside of his ear.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Yeah, see, that's how long it's been since I've seen it, but I could have sworn he had like, if anything, like a little tiny connection behind his ear or something.
No, it was basically like a Siri kind of thing. Like he would talk to you.
Uh, but I do remember that Siri or whatever he was talking to was at least more advanced than what we have right now, because I remember him, a specific scene, he was like in an elevator, and he just put in the ear pod apparently, and just said, play melancholy music, and it just started playing a really good song that he apparently liked, just because it knew
Yeah.
his taste already.
Okay, so I was trying to find what exactly he said,
Mm-hmm.
but apparently, the technology is not there yet, but in the future, Musk claims that the implant can solve paralysis, blindness, and hearing, as well as depression.
Whoa! So
Because it would send like electrical stimulation or something like that. Because the idea of the neural plant is that it's like the size of a silver dollar,
yeah.
and it attaches to your skull, but then there are wires that attach to your actual like central nervous system.
Oh, damn,
And
that's crazy.
then there would probably be updates or something where like say, oh, I'm this person is actually like clinically depressed. They can probably like remove that version 1 and put like a version 2 where it can actually dispense like antidepressants or something.
Yeah, or at
Or
least
even just like it has a bigger capacitor, so that way you can send like electrical shocks to the certain parts of the brain that would release like serotonin or dopamine or something.
yeah, exactly. I was gonna say that, like, just stimulate the nerves that would release those hormones or chemicals in your mind to help you with that depression or something like that.
Yeah, exactly. So that's like what he wants to do with this Neuralink.
That is amazing. That's straight up from a sci-fi movie. My God, that's amazing.
And I mean, before we go any further, I feel like we should take a break for our Spotify listeners.
Oh yeah, definitely.
So if you're listening on Spotify, just get up, stretch, take a drink of water, use the restroom or something, and we'll be right back. And I hope you enjoyed that little break. If you're in your car, Victor, obviously you can't get up and stretch. It's pretty dangerous. But, maybe you moved your head a little back and forth, or you kind of
Release some tension. Yeah.
Took a drink of water.
Yeah, take a little sip or something. Good.
But yeah,
took some time to look out the window and enjoy the sky and what a beautiful day it is. Maybe it is a beautiful day. Maybe it's not. Maybe you enjoy the weather. Maybe you hate it because of the sun. Whatever it is, just know you're alive. It's another day.
So Victor, now that we talked about the Neuralink a little, how far would you go
in augmenting my body?
Yeah, like would you get like a robotic arm? Would you basically become like the Terminator with a human head?
That's man, that's so hard.
Or would you just like go all in and just upload your consciousness into like a robot?
See, in a perfect world where hackers and pretty much just people hijacking your body or affecting, some way to control you, or maybe even the government, whatever it is, the person that created the technology. In a perfect world where none of that exists, where there's like no cons to it, where it's literally just transferring yourself to a body or augmenting your arm or your leg, and it works perfectly for the rest of your life until you die. Yes, I would definitely like do the whole process where they fucking put my brain in a robotic body or even just transfer my consciousness into a robotic body. I would definitely do that. But then again, that's why where the issues come up, where I'm like, it terrifies me, like even a small Neuralink that like Elon is planning, that would terrify me because it's like there's so many ways a hacker could just get into your personal information nowadays. Like that's why on YouTube or I don't know what other platforms, but there's been like content creators that are being sponsored by these apps or services that are called like VPNs. Whether it's like NordVPN or ExpressVPN, whatever it is, whatever company it is, the whole process is that like it hides your information, it hides your URL, your what does it do exactly, Jolen? Do you know?
Quote me if I'm like correct me if I'm wrong in the comments, but I think a VPN like hides your IP address.
There you go. So that way
like,
people aren't
your IP using like military grade encryption.
Yeah, exactly that.
And basically, like people can't access your computer because your IP address is scrambled.
Yeah, so they can't pinpoint your computer and like pretty much open up your files and everything, your information. But that's why these things are getting more popular nowadays, because like no people out there don't realize how easy it is to not only find your personal information, but also like find your private stuff like bank accounts and pictures and all this other stuff now that we've so wholeheartedly connected to like the cloud or to the internet itself, you know.
Yeah.
um we upload so much stuff, we upload so much information, passwords and all this crap that people could so easily get a hold on, even if like you have like a good password, you know. Like the hackers are a new breed nowadays. And when it comes to technology like that with augmenting your body, it terrifies me because it's like we're not even at that time right now where we have stuff like inside our bodies, and yet we're being hacked so easily, or at least like our information is getting out, you know, so publicly. So when it comes to augmenting our bodies, like what's there to say, you know, what's there to stop somebody to like take control of your mind? Or like if what Elon Musk, you know, suggests, what's there to stop someone from like increasing your chemical levels so that make you like pissed off 24/7, or like incredibly depressed that you kill yourself, or fucking, you know, they make you go insane and have schizophrenia or something like that, you know. You never know what could happen when somebody else has control of your brain, pretty much.
See, I like that you thought that you thought about it that way,
Uh-huh.
because like in the world of scams and things like that, there's this really popular like Russian scam where they
Uh-huh.
basically like lock you out of your computer for X amount of hours.
Uh-huh.
It's like, oh, if you want access to your computer again, you need to, I don't know, send me like $100 in iTunes cards or some shit like that, you know?
Yeah.
My like when I thought of like, oh shit, someone's gonna hack your body, I thought someone would hack the neural receptor, hack the Neuralink, and then literally like paralyze you for like in 24 hours.
Damn. Yeah.
I think that's even scarier than like, you know, like shocking your brain to make you pissed or to make you depressed.
Uh-huh.
It's like you're literally trapped in your own body.
It is terrifying, honestly, because it's like if a hacker wants to cause you harm or at least like steal your shit, they could paralyze you and then take your shit like while you're paralyzed. You know, you're literally just sitting there watching them do everything they want. You know, and if you think like a hacker, if you think like a horrible person like that, paralyzing someone in order to get money out of them, it would be much easier to like tell them that you've taken control of their Neuralink, and then that you're gonna make them depressed or fuck up their mind unless they pay you. You know what I mean? That's why like either way, both scenarios are like terrifying.
True.
Um, so at least to answer your question, at least I would not implant a Neuralink until I'm like 100%, like even 1,000% sure that it's like safe to do, or at least even if it's not safe, at least have the knowledge to know how to prevent such a horrible stuff to happen. You know, horrible things.
Yeah. So okay, but like for example,
Yes.
in a perfect world, how willing and how far would you go in body augmentation?
Oh, well, in a perfect world, I would definitely like pretty much transfer my conscience to a robot body if that robot body is able to have the same feelings that a human body would have. Like if I'm able to enjoy eating and tasting food, if I'm able to enjoy lovemaking, if I'm able to enjoy like, you know, feel pain pretty much. Like if I'm
Mm,
able to do all that stuff and pretty much be a human, but with a robot body that never gets sick, never ages, you know, that sort of stuff, like I would definitely do that big time.
I see.
Yeah. What about you though?
In a perfect world, I probably wouldn't.
At all?
Like I would do like very simple augmentations, like maybe you know get like a like sometime in the future if there's like an eyeball that basically gives you like eagle vision and freaking you can record and upload directly to YouTube or some shit like that.
Yeah.
I would probably do that. Like very simple augmentations. Like I know one that's real is that these biohackers are getting like these chips and like
Mhm.
implanting it into their hands, and they basically just like connect it to their phones or something, and they can use like Venmo and Apple Pay, or even send their contact information just by like holding their hand near your device.
Oh damn! I didn't know that was possible.
Something like that, I would probably do.
Uh huh.
Because it's no different from like putting a GPS tracker or just like a chip inside of like your dog.
Yeah.
You know, like if they
Exactly.
capture your dog or cat or something and they bring it to the pound, they scan their body to see if there's any like a chip on them.
Mm-hmm.
It's like the same thing, and it's like if it doesn't hurt your dog, it obviously won't hurt you.
Yeah, exactly. And actually, good thing you brought that up because it makes me think like, if you do have that implant chip of sorts, where it's like if someone's looking for you, like if you do go missing, you get kidnapped or you get lost, it's like people could easily find you because they're just tracking the chip.
Yeah,
And
you
it's
can
like,
have
yo,
like a thing where like if you push down hard on it, it'll like ping. You
mm-hmm.
can track your ping or something. That'd be pretty cool.
Yeah, it has its benefits.
Replacing an arm or even like enhancing, I don't know, like you remove your digestive tract and just put like some kind of fucking chemical factory inside of you. Like that's too far.
Oh yeah.
So that way like you never have to eat.
Yeah.
Yeah,
I
that's
also,
going like way too far. And then even the whole uploading yourself to another consciousness, I think after a while, I probably just get bored of it and then I'll just be like, I want to die.
you want to die?
Yeah, because I mean that's kind of like the great equalizer when it comes to humanity.
Mm-hmm.
Like once like death is eliminated, then like humanity is basically done.
Why? What do you mean?
Because
What?
like it doesn't matter where you start off in life or what you do or anything. Like everyone dies at the end.
Yeah, I get you, but
And
it's like,
that's what gives life meaning. But if you become
yeah.
immortal, then basically like life has no meaning anymore.
Mm,
At least in my eyes.
yeah, I get you, but it's like my question was, what do you mean by the phrase humanity is done at that point?
Because if people are immortal, then something in like the brain chemistry is gonna change where like now we don't have to reproduce anymore because basically nobody dies.
True. Yeah.
So then if nobody reproduces, no one is like born, and hence humanity is like done. We've
True.
hit a standstill.
Yeah, and then if like we have a massive extinction or even like a war or something where people die off, it's like there's no babies or no, nobody's making new offspring to continue
Yeah.
the human race.
Like old timer, well, not old timers, but like quote unquote um old timey people who don't believe in body augmentation. They're gonna be like, I have kids, the real way, the nature's way. They're gonna be the ones left to repopulate.
And there's gonna be that group of people that are like, you know what makes you really human? The challenge of raising a kid all on your own.
Unless
That
it's like unless it's like that Netflix show Altered Carvings, where you just have like these empty bodies that you just upload your consciousness if anything happens to you.
like if you die.
Yeah.
But then again, that still eliminates the possibility of death.
Yeah, true.
You know, I
Well,
see
in,
it.
in the show, like if you don't have the money for a body, then they just like let you die.
Well,
Like the
yeah,
consciousness is just like gone,
exactly.
and that's like a form of death.
Yeah, but that's what I'm saying. Like, I don't know. It in the same position, like the same scenario you described, where like pretty much everyone's immortal now. It's like that's when the laws and the ideals and the pretty much the morals behind suicide uh have to be changed, because it's like once someone's immortal, if they want to die, it's like I feel like they have every right to do so. You know what I mean? Like it's like you became immortal and you can never die. So it's like, why would you force someone to keep existing if, let's say, they believe that they've experienced all life has to offer? Like
Uh,
they've done everything there is to do in the world, in life, because they've had so much endless time on their hands. And if they feel like, you know what, I'm ready to just end it or have a rest or just finally give up, it's like I feel like that's when the morality behind killing yourself would completely change. And it's like you kind of have to, because if not, it's I feel like you're punishing them for being born in the first place, you know, and then becoming immortal.
I don't know. It's a weird conversation to have.
With what?
Like this, because I mean, like since the beginning of time, people have been trying to find ways to become immortal.
Yeah.
And now that immortality is like, when the time comes that immortality has been reached, then people are going to talk about like a time when you can like pass away and non-exist anymore.
True. I feel like when it comes to that time when immortality is finally reached, people will finally like, or at least I'm hoping, you know, you never know what the fuck the future could hold, but at least I'm hoping humanity as a race would like embrace knowledge and advancements as their main protocol, and like, because they realize how much time we have now because we're immortal, and it's like simple stuff like death and mortality, they're just accepted, you know. It's like it's a thing, like that's why the idea of letting someone choose their time of death is no longer shunned upon, because mortality, or at least death, is like taught early on in life that it's a normal process. It's an okay thing to do. It's okay, but at the same time, it's like you're immortal, so it's like don't worry about it. Might as well just focus on learning as much as you can and improving yourself and improving the humanity as a race.
I think we diverged like way too far from the original topic.
Yeah, I mean, it's still talking about augmentations. Still talking about like the potential.
Yeah, that's my 2 cents on the issue. In short, I probably would just get simple biohacks, but never like actually replace anything. Though I did think that like if I did get older, say like 40 years from now, if my niece just decided to like freaking F9 themselves or just like give up altogether, I would replace them with like mechanical knees.
Why not replace your whole leg?
I mean, event like it, you know, if the gout and the arthritis act up too, then yeah, just get a prosthetic leg.
Because it's like building a PC. If you're gonna get one part, might as well replace the whole part. What happened?
Don't even start. I'm having that issue right now.
That's what I'm saying.
The whole PC building thing, just a rabbit hole that I don't want to fall into.
It's too late, Jolen. You already fell into it.
I haven't bought anything yet.
But
It's
you
only
have,
ideas.
but you have seen the prices and you have seen the potential, and you're like, yes,
Tis
I
but a
need
flesh wound. So it's old news by now, but I feel like we should still cover it. You know, as many of you already know, Chadwick Boseman, famed actor, played Jackie Robinson in what was the movie 42?
Oh, he did?
Yeah,
I didn't know it was him.
that was him. He and then he played T'Challa, Black Panther in Black Panther. But he recently, well, at the time of this recording, he recently passed away due to colon cancer.
Yeah.
And it was very unfortunate, very untimely. It just adds to what a crappy year 2020 has been. Though, when it first happened, I messaged you about it, and we were discussing what's gonna happen with the movies, and I predicted that they're just going to keep him alive somewhere in the MCU, right?
Yeah.
And that they're just gonna pass the mantle of the Panther to his sister. Recently, I've seen on Instagram and online that has gained so much traction
Really?
that everyone is like, you should give whatever her name is, the Black Panther sister, you should, like, Marvel should pass the mantle of the Black Panther to his sister, so that way there is like a strong black female in the MCU, and it gives kind of the same thing that Black Panther did. It gives like these young African American women like somebody to see that's identical to them on the screens. And I'm in full support of that if Disney Marvel decides to do that.
Yeah, I mean, it honestly sounds like a good strategy for them to do.
Yeah, but just it was so unfortunate to learn that. He tried very hard to hide the fact that he was going through these procedures, that he had cancer. He didn't want anyone to find out.
Yeah, he filmed like I think a handful of movies while he was like battling cancer. So props for that, man. Like mad respect.
Yeah, and it's just unfortunate. You know,
Yeah.
he's pretty young. He was only like 42, maybe.
Was he?
I think so. I can fact check that right now. Fact checking on the side, on the fly. He was 43.
Oh damn, yeah, he was pretty young.
Yeah.
Yeah, cause when I heard of his passing, like it was sad to hear, like all the pain he suffered because of the cancer. And the first thing that came to mind was honestly like, what are they gonna do? Like, did they film the second movie or not and stuff like that? Or are they gonna take the whole Fast and Furious route and just get somebody with the same body build and just fucking put his face on him? Like, what is it called? A deep fake? Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah.
But then you shared that idea with me, and I was like, yeah, that makes a lot of sense, because in comics, it's like, or at least in the comic of Thor, they already, like, at one point they gave the power of Thor to like a female, because I believe the original Thor lost his power or something like that. I never really read it. Um, but at the same time, it's like, even though the MCU is inspired and they try to follow the comics as much as they can, they also have that liberty to come up with something that they believe would benefit the movies as a whole, and giving the power to, like, T'Challa's sister. That wouldn't be too far of a stretch, because I remember clearly there was a scene in the first Black Panther movie. Spoilers ahead if anyone hasn't seen it, which I doubt, because pretty sure a lot of people so many people were talking about it. But there's a point in the movie where T'Challa is presumed dead, and they're trying to overthrow the guy that took his throne from him. So in order to find someone like who has that potential or that strength, they go to, like, the outcasts, pretty much like the village outcasts.
Oh
they
yeah.
they live in the mountains. They don't really live in the Wakandan, like, city center. But they go to him, and on the way to where they live, like, they're climbing up the mountains and going through, like, the snowy area. The mom of T'Challa even tells the sister of T'Challa that maybe she should be the one to take the Black Panther's power and fight to overthrow the new king. And she herself was like, I'm not ready for that. Like, I'm more of just like a tech person. I'm more of the hands-on working with, like, programming and shit like that. So we need someone who's, like, a good leader and good, like, physically strong and sort of shit like that. But it's like the idea was thrown in there nonetheless.
Yeah.
So it's not something that's completely out of left field. And then again, she is incredibly smart, to the point where, like, I want to say she's like as smart as Tony Stark in this MCU, because she is the lead designer and creator of the technology when it comes to Wakandan technology.
I mean, I think she's like smarter than Tony, because there's that scene in, what is it? Infinity Wars, where they try to like remove the stone from Vision, and she's like, "Why did you do it like that?" And then he's like, "You should have done it this way." And then both Tony and Bruce are like, "Because we didn't think of that."
Yeah, exactly. There you go. See, I forgot about that scene. So it would make perfect sense. It's like she's incredibly smart, and if she gets the Black Panther powers, it wouldn't be, like, completely unnatural.
Uh huh.
So yeah, at least that part is covered for the MCU.
I don't know why. I always thought he was like British.
He isn't.
No, he's an American actor. Like I thought he had like a British accent, you know?
Yeah, I get you. I thought the
Kinda
same too.
like what's his name? The Tom, not Tom Hiddleston. The
Tom
the guy
Holland.
who, the Spider-Man,
Tom Holland.
Tom Holland.
Yeah.
Kind of like that, because Tom Holland has like a really good American accent.
Yeah, I was literally about to bring him up. Like, I thought he was an American actor, but then once I heard him in an interview, I saw that he was, like, British, and I was like, oh well, hello.
Well, hopefully, you know, he, wherever he is, he can rest.
Yep.
And yeah, that's pretty much all I have to say about that.
Yeah, me too. It's very it's like, hear me out, is very controversial, I guess. I don't know if people are gonna get mad or not, but it's like when it comes to the death of like stars, like film, like movie stars or TV stars, it's like I completely feel for them. Like it's incredibly sad and it sucks because it's we're losing a human being here and someone who's been so influential or at least has had like a great impact in many people's lives. So I understand that it's like it. Of course, it should be mourned. It should be like recognized. But for some reason, I always have this like nagging tick in the back of my mind. I don't know if it's a pet peeve or not. I really don't know. It's just something that keeps coming up every time I see something online about it, where people on Instagram or Twitter are like talking about this super famous person, like if it's their best friend or if it's their like relative, being like, "Oh, can we please get like a minute of silence for this person that has passed away? They've been amazing. It's great. Like I love them so much. Like they've been such a great, huge part of my life, and like everyone should hear about this. Everyone knows about this." And I'm like, they're they're famous people that have died, so of course everyone's gonna know about it. And it's like, I understand they had a huge influence on your life, and I completely get that. You could do whatever you want, but it's like, to try and milk it as long as like a month after their death, it's like, for me it feels unnecessary. It's like, acknowledge their death, mourn their death, shit, maybe even go out and buy some of their merchandise to like help their family or help whatever, maybe start make a Kickstarter or whatever it's called, like one of those the GoFundMe pages where it might give money to the family that truly needs it, the family that actually lost a blood relative. Like that's the proper way to do it. That's the proper way to like mourn somebody, or at least like
I'm sorry, hold on.
respect them. So yeah, like making like one of those GoFundMe pages to help the family that truly lost the relative. That I say it's the proper way to help them out in their time of need, or maybe even just like any little tiny thing that might physically actually help the family that truly lost their relative, help mourn their loss, or at least telling them that you sympathize with them. That's fine in my eyes. The thing that bothers me are the people that like had nothing to do with this famous person. Like maybe they didn't even like follow their career. They never really watch their first movies, early movies. Like, let's say like me, I'm a perfect example for this rant that I'm giving. You know what I mean? Like, I'm not out there putting TikToks or Twitters or Instagram posts about Chadwick Boseman. Mainly because I never really followed his career. I saw the movie 42. I didn't like it. I saw Black Panther. I did like that. It was okay, but that's about it. Like don't know anything else he did, so he wasn't a huge like impact on my life. So for me to go out on my Instagram, Twitter, and social media and pretty much tell all my friends and family like, "Oh my god, did you guys hear about this? You should definitely put this person, this random stranger, in your prayers for absolutely no reason aside from he's dead," to me sounds unnecessary. Like, if I truly did care about him as a human being, that he's passed away, even if he had like a minor impact, like I said, with just the two movies I saw of him, donating a single dollar in helps, to for their family, that seems more necessary. That seems more suitable of a what's it called, a tribute to his memory, than posting a single like post on social media.
No, I get you. I want to say I have the similar mindset as you, because I mean, in reality, celebrities are just strangers to us.
Mm-hmm.
Strangers who, they have this job where they provide entertainment.
Yeah.
But when it comes to people who like want to share pictures or even want like do ask for like a moment of silence or like put them in your prayers or something, I don't see that as wrong, just because because they are celebrities, so you do feel like a kinship towards them,
Yeah.
like, and especially someone like Chadwick Boseman. He was like a huge proponent and a huge advocate for like the African American community.
Mm-hmm.
For a long time, superheroes were never, people of color.
Yeah.
It would be kind of like if we saw like a Mexican superhero for the first time on theaters, like some little kid, watching. It wouldn't be far off now that like he can be an actor or something like that.
Yeah.
Like it's not out of the realm of imagination that like he can see himself on the screen in like 20 years.
Yeah, exactly.
So I understand people who do that when they feel a kinship towards a celebrity that has passed.
Mm-hmm.
But for people who are just doing it for likes and attention, yeah, that's completely unnecessary.
Yeah, and that's why I specifically use the word unnecessary, because it's like I don't see anything wrong with it. Like if you do decide to partake in that action, I have no problem with it. I'm not gonna I'm not ranting here because I hate you or because I don't like what you're doing. No, it's nothing like that. I every time I see a post like that on social media, I'm like, it's unnecessary. That's all that's all that goes into my mind. Like that's the little nagging thing in the back. It's like I see it and I remember the person who passed. I'm like, oh yeah, that's true. Okay, well, sad to hear about that. But the fact that someone took the time out to make that post is what makes me think that was a little unnecessary. Like I'm glad that you mentioned their activities, to promote like equality or just like anything that might help, those that have been what's the word for it?
Marginalized.
Thank you. Yes, marginalized. That's an even better, way to put a tribute for that person. It's like if they were an activist in that field, then go and donate to those causes. They'll go be part of that cause. Like if they really did impact you as greatly as you say they did, then go do that. Follow their dreams, follow their path. A little bit. Just help them out a little bit. Even after they're past, it's like you're still here to help their dream become a reality. If you
Yeah,
want that, if you want that.
I get you. See, I think what changed my mind when it came to that was
Mm-hmm.
because like the first celebrity death that actually like affected me or got to me was
Mm-hmm.
Kobe Bryant.
Oh, really? Okay.
Because like now I'm not a huge basketball fan anymore. I kind of stopped. But when I
Mm-hmm.
was younger, I watched like every single Lakers game.
Mm-hmm.
Like I think one of the not one of the first Lakers game, but like I was watching the Lakers back when like Kobe and Shaq were like the dynamic duo, freaking Superman and everything like that.
Yeah.
That's like really old school. To give you context, like the people on the team were like Kobe, Shaq, Derek Fisher. Like I think later Lamar Odom came up, and
Yeah.
then stuff like that. It's like really old school people.
Oh yeah. Hell yeah.
And like when I heard that he got into this accident and he like unfortunately passed, like it brought back all those memories of like watching basketball and like I actually like when in elementary school I won tickets to go see the Lakers.
Mm-hmm.
And it's like even though I didn't know him personally, he did have an effect on my life.
Yeah. Exactly.
I felt like I didn't go out and you know post stuff on my social media, but I did like I had that moment where I was like, damn, he's actually gone.
Yeah. If anything, you had a
Live, he
moment where.
doesn't even know I exist. Like he would never know that I exist because he like I said, he's just a celebrity. His job, well, he's an athlete, but a celebrity athlete.
Mm-hmm.
Like his job is to entertain, and you do feel a kinship towards these people.
Yeah. Exactly.
So that I guess that's why my ideas changed a little bit more because before, like when celebrities died, I was just like, that sucks, but who cares?
Yeah.
Because like when like Michael Jackson passed away or like Whitney Houston, those are artists that I listen to like on a daily.
Mm-hmm.
And now I feel like I feel an appreciation towards them, but back then I was like, nah, doesn't matter.
I get you. Because of Kobe, that was like the start of it. You were like, this has changed my viewpoint.
Yeah.
Oh, I get you. Yeah, and that's what I'm saying. It's like with this entire rant, it's like it's my opinion. You know, it's just what I wanted to share that with you guys. Like, I
Uh-huh.
feel it's unnecessary, but in no way do I believe it's not. It's wrong. In no way do I believe it's wrong. Like, there's nothing wrong with doing what you do. Like you know, everybody mourns differently. Everybody, you know, pays their respects differently. So that's perfectly fine. I just wanted to share that mentality I had where every time I see a post, I just think it's unnecessary.
I get you.
Yeah.
Well,
But
Victor, we're pretty down in the dumps towards the end of the episode. I don't know if you wanna, if you have one last topic to brighten the moods, or you want to just leave it at this melancholy end.
well, what has been going on that's good in the world so far?
There's an anniversary
Uh?
we haven't talked about.
Huh?
It's an Italian plumber. Used to be known as
Oh!
the Jumpman, but he commonly goes by Mario.
Oh, the Mario anniversary. That's
Yeah,
true.
it's the 35th anniversary of Mario.
Yeah, and Nintendo has released a lot of information for what they have planned, right?
Yeah, until like 2021, they have stuff planned for his until the next anniversary, the 36th.
The 36th anniversary.
But because of that, like for those of you who do play video games, you probably already know, but they're releasing all the 3D Marios, which is Mario 64, Mario Sunshine, and Mario Galaxy.
Mm-hmm.
They're going to be porting them to the Switch.
Yeah, with well, at least for Mario 64, they say that they upgraded the graphics a little bit, like just to make them
Did
a
it with
little
all of them.
smoother. Did they?
Yeah, they gave them like a little upgrade tweak, and they also changed the resolution. So like
Yeah.
before Super 64 Mario was in like a 4:3 resolution, like all video games that used to be.
Yep.
So they changed it to fit the Switch, and now it's going to be shown in like a 16:9 resolution.
Yeah. So,
And I was
you
like,
know,
that's pretty cool.
and the best part is that because they're releasing all three Marios, they're gonna be releasing it in like a bundle. It's like you buy one game, I think for $60, and you get 3 of those games.
Yeah, I'm glad they did it that way because it's like for the people who buy every single Mario game, they're essentially re-buying it again.
Exactly. So it's like it's good for them that they don't have to spend like $120 buying 3 separate games, where you just buy $60, you could buy 3 games, and it has your favorites, your classics. They're also releasing, they're also releasing this this other bundle. What game was it? Oh, it's a classic Mario bundle, where it's the original Super Mario Brothers, Super Mario Brothers 2, Super Mario Brothers 3, I think, or Super Mario World. I forgot which
I
one
think
it
it's
was.
Mario World.
Yeah, Super Mario World, and then the Mario the Lost Levels. Like it's another game that they're bundling together.
Ooh.
But I'm not sure if that's gonna be like for sale or if it's gonna be released in the NES. What is it? A ROM or like the NES application that you get for getting the Nintendo online system.
Yeah.
Yeah. But yeah,
There's also that they're also making like a Mario Battle Royale.
Oh yeah, I remember
with
that.
like 35 people to try to like beat the course or something.
Yeah, it's like that Tetris 99 game.
Yeah, I was
where
like that. So like I was gonna mention that, but I was also gonna say I think they were testing the motion controls for on Super Mario Galaxy. Because they want to use the motion controls from that game for the port of Skyward Sword.
Ooh, is that a thing? Is that real?
I think so. There was like a leaked image that came out that Amazon already put a listing for Skyward Sword.
Wow, what?
Yeah, that's supposed to come out like this holiday season.
For the Switch?
Yeah.
That is so dope. That's awesome.
I mean, Skyward Sword is not the best, you know, Zelda's title. Like, I think people would have preferred Twilight Princess over Skyward Sword.
Yeah.
But I mean, a Zelda game is a Zelda game. They always do well.
and I think like the Skyward Sword game was pretty good. Like it wasn't, like you said, it wasn't the best, but I think the biggest complaint most people had about that game were the motion controls. So
Yeah, 'cause the motion controls, I think for what was it, the Wii or the Wii U,
yeah,
were pretty crap.
yeah, that they even had to release like an extra attachment to the Wii controller to make it better.
Yeah, but the Joy-Cons motion controls are pretty good.
Yeah, so it would make sense. It would make sense why they would bring Skyward Sword to the Nintendo Switch, and then it will be better there, hopefully.
Yeah.
But that's pretty cool. That's good. I'm a Zelda fan, and I'm a Mario fan, so I'm excited for that at least.
So yeah, I guess we'll see about that. Maybe some 3D Mario playthroughs in the future.
Maybe, yeah. We'll play through the classic 3D Mario's games.
Right.
Yeah. Let us know in the comments down below for the YouTube listeners what you're excited for this year on behalf of Nintendo. Let us know how far you'd augment your body if in a perfect world. And yeah, thank you so much for listening to us. We appreciate you.
And don't forget, if you're on YouTube, don't forget to like and subscribe. Comment down below. If you're on Spotify, you can follow us. If you have any recommendations for the show, or you just want to say hi, you could DM us on Instagram or Twitter.
Yeah.
Jumblhoj.
Yep.
And don't be shy. Come on by. We'll see you all next time.
Bye, everybody. Stay beautiful.